confusing video ahead. Hi guys. This video will be a brain hurt. This is the first episode to a series. I might start grinning face with clenched teeth, face rolling on the floor laughing. I know this sounds weird, but trust me, this will be fine. If you are one of the people who are kind of scared of the concept of death and confusing things to mess with your mind, please click off the video as I don't want to disturb you. Just trying to make an enjoyable video. So, have you ever wondered what happens when you die? Or where you go, or even to go that deep? Where does your soul and mind go? These questions were on my mind today. They were messing with me. I wanted to get some stuff off my chest. That's why I am making this video in the first place. So, if you believe in the concept of heaven and going to heaven once you die, this first part is the questions to do with your beliefs, the Christian belief. So, they say that once you go to heaven, it is an everlasting party and you can't get bored. The thing is, you would be there for like 5 billion years or more. Just think about that for a second. You would definitely get bored eventually. You can't just be in one spot observing the world and once the sun explodes, watching the earth get destroyed. Also, where is heaven? And even deeper, where is your soul once you go there? Some people like to say they go to a better place. That part can confuse me as my belief is different to the Christian one and like the Hindu one. I am an atheist, though. My belief is very similar. I don't exactly know, but I have no religion. The concept is confusing. This video will be confusing. If you are like me, the people that believe you start a new life upon death, this section is for you, the Hindu belief. So, as you guys know, if you have the same death beliefs as me, you would think that you would restart a new life getting reborn once you have died yet again. Sometimes you can vaguely remember your past life. It can mess with your mind, but can be easily ignored. Sometimes, once you start a life yet again, it may begin to actually go quite well. At that point, you are clutching onto life hoping it stays. I am not like that as my life is a failure, but this video is not about my life. Maybe next video. So, as I was saying, in that life you are enjoying and liking a lot, keep in mind that it won't last forever. Nothing built can last forever. The world can be confusing and depressing like that. It can get hard. So, this can get off your mind easily, at least most of the time. I kind of have a few theories on why the Hindu belief may be actually true. So, my theory is that, since there are so many babies being born every few minutes and so many people dying in a few minutes too, it can kind of seem like a coincidence. So, apparently, every minute a baby is born and every 3 minutes a person dies. I don't personally think this is very accurate, but it can always seem somewhat a coincidence. This is going to get even more brain bending. So, if there are so many births and deaths in a total week, where do those dead souls go? In the Christian belief, obviously, they go to heaven. For a long time. As I said before, that would be just having it so your soul is one place for the rest of eternity, apparently. I have not done research, as I said before. I wanted to get stuff off my chest and share it with you. Okay. So, as I was saying, you would have to watch the world forever until it gets destroyed. Assuming these people somehow keep the earth alive for like 5 billion years, how would you be there for that long not getting bored? On the other hand, the Hindu belief, it makes more sense to me that you get reborn over and over again. Some people claim to remember a past life. This almost proves it. I think that once you die, your past life is wiped from your mind. Just poof, out of existence. But, as we all know, technology is not accurate. Neither is anything else really. That could be why some people have remembered a past life. Off the remembering part, back to the rest. So, this is a small part of my theory. I may make a part 2 of this. I don't know. By the way, this obviously isn't me reading this out. It is Siri with an Aussie accent because I'm Aussie and I am used to Aussie English British accents grimacing face. Back to topic. The things that can get really confusing come now. So, here is an example. They say, nothing can survive a black hole. I believe that is true, but in my belief, Hindu belief, or at least similar, as you restart life, get reborn, etc., you end up surviving it anyways because it only ends one life. You have infinite lives, if you think about it. This video is not to change your beliefs though. I respect you guys and your beliefs. So, I started this last night at 9 PM and then continued at 2 AM. Now it's 6 AM. I have been working on this for hours on end, and I still have part 2 to make, probably faced with the tears of joy. As I said, you have infinite lives, right? So, that means, it doesn't matter if you are having a good life and are scared it may end. Eventually, you will get another good life after other depressing ones and sad ones, I guess. Unless you're lucky faced with the tears of joy. As I said with the black hole, it is true, but I wanted to share my friend, KOTE's beliefs. KOTE may start to be known as Ender Rebel soon, as he may get a channel in a long while, but wants a cool name. He chose this name because, his own words, we could kinda have a collaboration or joined kind of channel thing. I think that meant that we would do videos with each other and just straight up have related channels. I think there is a channel called the Ender Rebel, but KOTE, Ender Rebel, wanted it related to mine, and we both have Ender and Nether in our names because that is a favorite dimensions in Minecraft, and then there is also a mystery reason for that. It is private. As I was saying, here is Ender Rebel's beliefs. No, he doesn't have a channel, okay. He said to me yesterday that he had a mini theory in progress about what happens when you go into a black hole. I think it was quite interesting, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Smiling face with squinting eyes. When you get sucked into a black hole, yes, it is unlikely, but can happen. I have a theory for that. So, when you get sucked into it, you are never heard from again. As for the other people who got sucked in, what if you get sucked into another dimension with the rest of the people who were previously sucked in, almost like heaven, but not Christian? What if eventually you end up just naturally dying in that dimension or get killed? You would just get reborn after, no extra info. But, yeah, that is what he said to me. This doesn't exactly say what he said to me IRL, but it is 98% correct. I think it is very interesting, but please no insulting us in the comments. His theory is actually quite reasonable and makes a lot of sense with their beliefs. Okay, thanks. So, I think that when you get sucked into a black hole, it's almost like underwater. The pressure is too hard. As if your body would be pulled apart. Nothing random in there. It seems reasonable and makes sense. Just so you know, I do believe in Ender Rebel's belief as well, but this is my other belief for just the black hole. So, I feel like you would restart. But here's where my belief is different to the Hindus upon death. I feel like you may be waiting in a certain place for a certain amount of time, maybe clearing your mind of your past life, at least mostly. But here's where more questions lie. Where do you go? And where does your soul go? I feel like these kinds of questions could go on forever. This world is really confusing. Also, I have something else for you to think about. I know your memory gets worse as you grow older. Stereotype. But, even as a kid, you and I may not remember our earlier life. As in, when you were a kid. I don't really relate much to this, but maybe you guys do. So, it is almost like you aren't really controlling your actions as a totally young kid. I know this sounds weird, but, believe me, if you think about this, it makes more sense. I know this is confusing, but you are worn face rolling on the floor laughing. Just think about this stuff. It is confusing. I try to shove it out of my mind to stop myself from losing my sanity, because, as we all know well, the world will end. The sun will explode, and then the world ends. Nothing can possibly survive that. But, if people manage to end the world with pollution and tree loss, that kind of thing, the world could possibly end sooner. So, we do need to be careful. Keep the earth going as long as we can. Once the world ends though, what happens? Where do we go? Where does everyone go? Where does a soul go? What happens anymore? This is brain bending, but just think, these questions are true. What happens when the world ends? No one can do anything. Just, what would happen? Where would everyone and everything go? Where would the minds and souls go? Just, Try not to think about this much. It can be stressful. We have billions of years, assuming humans don't end the world. Confused face. Thanks for watching. I finished this at 7 AM. Cue the terrible outro.